In all my years of gaming, I have never experienced such a fantastic franchise that has captivated me, such as Metal Gear. Yeah, I started 10 years later than everybody else, but it was an unreal franchise, forcing the player to use intellect, self-judgment, and deception instead of direct conflict, and always through the direct path. Throughout the years, many companies have used Metal Gear as an inspiration, through sequels, Easter eggs, and of course, merchandising. Well-known figure company Revoltech decided to take up that mantle with the legendary hero for a memorable mission with Colonel Campbell at his side. I present to you the hero of Zanzibar land, Solid Snake. In front of us is the Kyoto Revoltech Yamaguchi Mini Action Figure Series number 1 Metal Gear Solid Snake. Like the number states, this is the first of the new line in Revoltech. Advertising a mere 4 inches tall with 16 points of articulation, Snake will surprisingly give you a lot of mobility, articulation, and even detail for such a small and tiny figure. Like in the picture, the box sports a crystal clear window inside to view Snake. The surrounding has a pink matte finish with product shots on the back on how to pose him. So let's take him out of his cage. And right from the get-go, we get a black tray compared to the standard clear one, complete with figure and his accessories. But of course, let's begin with what Snake comes with. The accessories that come with this is unbelievable, considering how tiny it is. Like all figures, he comes with his default fist hands, a pair of trigger fingers so he can hold them in each hand, a gripping hand with a peg hole inside for his binoculars, and a sig hand. A freaking cigarette hand on this guy. Also included are an eye picking tool for moving his eyes, with a holster section and a holstered gun. Finally, we come to his weapons. His famous SOCOM with a detachable suppressor, a claymore for trying to kill himself in pure anguish, and his FAMAS, which he can hold in both hands. Surprisingly, he comes with 2 stands. The regular Revoltech one, which don't get, or the small clear disc stand, which works wonders for his posability. So in total, you are looking at about 14 different accessories, meaning the combination of poses and styles are endless. And as for the paint job for these weapons, don't expect too much actually going into them. They just have a very regular matte finish paint on them. And now onto the figure himself. Behold the son of Big Boss, Solid Snake. Like mentioned, he does stand at a tiny 4 inches tall, but he is built to be very dynamic and posable, putting him in incredible poses most figures cannot even come close to. And since this is a Revoltech, this does eliminate one huge problem most people have with them, and those are the ratchet joints. While these are visible, they have a very smooth glide, meaning poses are much easier to perform instead of predetermined motions his bigger brothers can perform. He's wearing his famous sneaking suit that prevents him from hypothermia from the Alaskan weather. From head to toe, he is covered in detail, through the ruffles of his clothing to the small details where it wrinkles. There is a ton to look at here, and Revoltech did a wonderful job bringing this classic hero to life. And the best part, of course, are his eyes, which can move in any direction. Simply slide off his face, use the picking tool on the back, and you can adjust his eyes to however you see fit. And of course, moving to his articulation. Okay, so this is pretty much how the figure looks like. Like I said, this is a 4-inch figure. This thing is tiny. This thing is... Look at this. You can pretty much see him dancing like that. Oh, alright, so here we go. Let's go into the articulation. So the head kind of goes down like that, goes up. Unfortunately, it doesn't go as up as I would like, because if he's in a crouching position or in a crawl position, he can't look up, which sucks. His tassel does not move, unfortunately. Pretty much they're just standard Revoltech joints without the ratchets, which is nice. So pretty much he can move around. He is a little bit hindered right here just because of this little flap right here, the pauldron. So he can go up, he can go kind of all around. So I guess you can say a 180 from here all the way there. So he has a... God, this range is great right here. Also, pretty much they're held by little joints right there as well. So You can go all around as here as well. He has a beautiful rocker joint in the middle right here. So unfortunately, he can't go back as much due to the actual sculpt. So he can go back pretty far, which you can see actually. His legs go out pretty damn far. See, look at that. But of course, if you keep doing that, he's gonna pop it off, and then you gotta pop that on. Also, I'm not gonna lie, these little straps right here are annoying, because the problem with that is that they kind of get inside of the joint. So you like that, they kind of get hidden. He does have a very nice joint right here that he can go all around, double jointed in a sense. And he does have a beautiful ankle pivot. So pretty much you can just put him at whatever position you need to. There you go. Fuck you. Released in 2004, he went for about 2,808 yen, or $24.99, which is a great MSRP. But like any figure line, it comes with a limited release, with prices skyrocketing. You could purchase him for about 45 to 50 at about from this video. Considering how small and tiny he is, this thing is totally worth it. Never in my years have I seen such a tiny and beautifully sculpted figure that comes with everything entirely, and for any Metal Gear fan, you really need to own this. So of course, thank you guys so much for checking out the video. I greatly appreciate it. And if you can, of course, leave a like and a subbity bubbity. I would always greatly appreciate that. And if you haven't seen any of my other previous videos, I would always recommend doing that as well. I did a PS2 review for Berserk. I also did one for the Dreamcast. I did a couple other things as well. And since it's Metal Gear on the subject of that, I do Metal Gear Twitch streams. That's what I'm currently playing on my Twitch, so be sure to come in at 9 p.m. Pacific time every single day. Every single weekday. You can find me there. So thank you guys, and I'll definitely see you next week.